Hey guys, welcome to Brickstars. In this video, we're going to be predicting what is the strongest Lego dragon. The Lego dragon is a piece that was first introduced in the early 90s, and since then it's become a iconic Lego animal, if you will. It's appeared in both molded and brick built formats and various styles and throughout different themes. So we're just going to take a quick look at all the different themes, or some of the different themes that the Lego Dragon has appeared in. There's a lot of great videos online that show the history of Lego Dragons, but we just want to give you an idea that the dragon appeared in everything from these castle themes. You can see here in this castle set they have a molded red dragon, to Harry Potter sets. So whether it's the actual wave of sets or collectible sets such as this one with the Hungarian Horntail, they've also appeared in Monkey Kid sets. So these ones are a bit more fantasy in nature, if you will. They've kind of got different add-ons and are used almost as like a fighting machine. And we've seen a lot of dragons throughout the Ninjago lineup as well. So here's just one sample. You'll see throughout this video there's going to be a lot of Ninjago dragons. And we've also seen a couple in licensed sets. So whether it's creator, castle, like we said, licensed Dungeons and Dragons, we've seen a lot of dragons throughout the years. Again, there's a lot of great videos out there that we suggest you watch and see the history of dragons. It's kind of cool to see everything that's out there. But in this video, we're going to be trying to guesstimate which dragon would be the strongest in the Lego universe. So what makes a strong dragon is kind of the first thing we look at. You can see some photos here of some epic looking dragons. We thought it all starts with the size. So the bigger the dragon, likely the stronger the dragon is, the more mass, the more muscle it has. Wingspan's huge as well. If you're a fan of TV shows that have dragons, or the House of Dragon, for example, you know that wing size determines how much they can fly and their power and everything. So that's a big factor. Firepower, so how much really flame can these dragons emit? How much destruction can they cause? That's a big thing. Versatility is a factor we considered as well. Some dragons you'll see they have different attachments, different body parts that we think are more advantageous in a battle. And then the last one we looked at was bite. So this is kind of how scary they look, how strong their jaw is, how much damage could they do without fire. So let's start off with the Dungeons and Dragons set. So this dragon in this set is really cool. This is one that we actually have in our own collection, so we can kind of speak to it a bit better since we actually have it. And it is huge in person. It's definitely got a good size to it. So we've given it a 4 for size. It has a nice wide chest here, legs that move, and we gave it a 5 on the wingspan. So not only are these wings really wide, the cloth piece is actually huge. So they're maybe the largest dragon wings that we've seen. We've looked at images online again and kind of collected some research for this video, but this is the one dragon we have in our collection, so I really can't see wings being much bigger than this. We only gave it a 3 for firepower. You can see there's a large flame piece in here, but nothing crazy, especially when we compare it to some of the other dragons. And we gave it a 2 for versatility. This is a tough category to judge because there's obviously some spikes here, his tail moves, but other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. And we gave it a 2 for bite, so it does have some teeth here, but honestly, if you have this dragon, you know how weak this connection is. So quite frankly, we were kind of tempted to even give it a 1, but it gets a 2, so for a total score of 16, not a bad start. And really cool looking dragon, but 16 out of 25 on the strength calculator that we've kind of put together. And again, each of these is going to be counted through 1 through 5, with 5 being the strongest. So forgot to introduce that earlier. The next one we're going to look at is Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon. This is a really cool set, actually. You see the gold dragon here, and it looks pretty epic in our opinion. So we do like how muscular it looks here with these strong biceps and leg pieces. And obviously the foreheads are pretty unique, And to rate this dragon, we gave it a 3 for size, so I don't think it's quite as big as the Dungeons and Dragons dragon, but his legs do kind of bend at an interesting angle to give him a bit more size. 3 on the wingspan. Obviously, this is a different style of dragon, so the wing size is not going to be as large, but they are cool wings nonetheless. They're kind of like razor blade sword pieces, so we gave him a 3 for that. On the firepower side, we had to give this a 5. So we don't watch the show. We don't have a lot of Ninjago sets, so we can't really comment on the details of each of these heads. So let us know in the comments if each of these heads kind of has a special flame that it shoots out, but we imagine it does. So we think the 4 heads just gives it extra firepower. So obviously a 5 there, and really versatile. So again, the 4 heads, but these wings also acting like razor blades, and then you have this huge sword piece on the tail. I don't think it can get more versatile than this, and it's not as big, so it's maybe a bit more agile than the previous dragon. And what's better than 1 set of jaws? We would say 4. So with these 4, obviously the bite power is as good as can be. So that's a total score of 21. Pretty good score for this dragon. Next up, we're going to be looking at Zane's Ice Dragon creature. This is a really cool dragon. You can see it's a bit different than most. Obviously, it's an ice dragon. Here it's in standing form. And this dragon was interesting to rank, so we gave it only a 3 on size. We think it's a bit smaller. And we gave it a 2 for wingspan. So again, it's a different style of dragon, maybe not a fair metric to use, but its wings are obviously lacking compared to some of the other ones, but it compensates for that with an extra set of legs. So this really looks like a dragon to us that kind of climbs over mountains or snow and instead of flying. We did give it a 4 for firepower, or I imagine in this dragon's case it's ice power. And on the versatility side, we also gave this one a 5. So again, the wings can kind of act like razor blades, and the tail is like this big sword piece. He's got some nice looking horns here, the extra set of legs, and the fact that he walks on 2 legs seems pretty unique to us. So it's kind of like a mech. Definitely a lot of versatility there. And just looking at this overbite that this dragon has, so huge lower jaw piece, it looks like it could crush boulders. So we gave it a 4 for bite, giving it a total score of 18. Next up, we've got the big boy. This one is probably the biggest dragon of the bunch as far as Lego released dragons, and it definitely looks huge. Like, I would love to see this compared to the Dungeons and Dragons one, but just looking at the images and the way the body can bend and the size of the arms, this dragon looks epic. And obviously, given the size, it had to score a 5. Like, this is as big as it gets. The wingspan is not only wide, but it features these flames, so that gave it some, honestly, an extra point there. So we'd give it 5. And firepower, we assumed 5 on this one. This dragon just looks like it can shoot a huge flame. Anytime you have flame prints on the wings, on the sides here, around his eyes, it just looks like he has a lot of firepower. And we ranked it a bit lower on the versatility compared to some of the others. Again, he does have the sword piece and some horns, which we give him the edge over the Dungeons and Dragons one, but compared to the others, we didn't think it was fair to rank him any higher. And the jaw isn't anything special, but it looks pretty sturdy. The teeth look pretty big here, so we gave it a 4 for a total score of 22. And the last of the 5 dragons that we've selected is the Fire Dragon. So this is an older Ninjago set, and you can see the wings on this one are huge. It's a thinner dragon, so obviously that's going to work against it a bit on the size, but it probably makes it a bit more agile. You can see some of the neck bending here that it can do. It has a lot of articulation, and it's kind of cool that its arms and wings are almost tied together, where some of the other ones have a separate set of arms and then wings separated from that. So Again, a lower score on the body, only a 3 in size, but it's probably a much faster dragon. It's leaner, it's more agile. The wingspan's a 5, again featuring these flames on the wings. We had to give it a 5 for firepower. It also looks like it could shoot a pretty large flame, and we do like the colors here, that really the pop of red and this kind of orange, bright dark yellow, we think just looks like fire to us. And also gets 4 on the versatility scale. It has a neat kind of double sword thing on the tail, but having its claws here at the end of wings is kind of unique and different, so we like that. And honestly, its claws look a bit longer than some of the other ones, so 4 on the versatility scale. And with this set of teeth here, we gave it a 4 for bite, so not as crazy as the 4-headed one, but still a pretty good score with 21. So these were the 5 dragons that we picked, kind of going through the different ones, and you can see they're obviously all the brick build style that are large. We'll touch on that in a second here, but let's look at the scores first. So where we finished off, 21 for this fire dragon, 21 for the gold dragon. The ice dragon gets 18, Dungeons and Dragons 16, and 22 for this latest Ninjago dragon. So really good scores across the board. Honestly, when we started looking at these, we thought the Dungeons and Dragons for sure was going to be one of the top strongest dragons that Lego's released, but trying to look at this objectively without knowing some of the lore and history of these, this is the predictions we've come up with. And having done this series and looked at a bit of the dragon history of Lego, I think it'd be worthwhile to almost have like different categories for dragons if we do another video like this, because these ones clearly are all kind of the same style, and it's tough to compare the original dragon with these ones. But this video, I guess, overall looks at every dragon Lego's released, and it's our guess at which one the strongest dragon is. So please comment below. Let us know if you agree with our choices, if there's any dragons that got snubbed that you think should be on this list, and what your thoughts are overall to the dragons that we've chosen. So it would be really cool to see these side by side if anyone has all of them in their collection, to kind of get a good comparison. But that's our take on the strongest dragons that Lego's released. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.